Good morning, good morning, good morning. Happy Friday, and welcome to September the 2nd. I am Stephanie A. Wynn, and I know it's early, so you all might be still sleeping. But again, the early bird gets the worm. So I wanted to come on this morning and talk about today's topic and this one we're going to be talking about um, how to monetize your book, right? And this is for my author community, how to monetize your book. But today's topic, we're talking about why authors need a platform to sell their books. So I am going to get started. Let me make sure that I am live on my pages and we're going to get started. If I am new to your timeline, hello, and good morning, good morning, good morning. All right, all right. So let's get started. So, for those of you who don't know, my name is Stephanie Wynn. I am a published author, co-authored. My first book is Ready, Set, Go: A Simple Guide to Establishing a Successful Small Business, and my second book is underway. Super excited about that. But before we move forward, if if you don't know what a platform is, if you have a book and you don't have your own platform, you need to tune in because I'm going to drop some jewels today and I'm going to tell you exactly what a platform is. So we're going to get right into today's presentation. And if you're catching this on a replay, hashtag replay. A little bit about me. My name is Stephanie A. Wynn. I started my very first business at the age of 23 and was the youngest woman of color to open an ice cream shop here in St. Petersburg, Florida. And there were other ice cream shops, but I was the youngest female. And and it was exciting. It was exciting. And the ice cream shop is really what propelled me into writing my first book, Ready, Set, Go, because I didn't have a point of reference. I didn't have any resources to help me with starting this business, but I knew I had a passion for entrepreneurship at the time. And once I got the ice cream up and running, it just went from there. As a result, after I published Ready, Set, Go, I went on a nationwide book tour with my very first book, and it was amazing. I met a lot of people, built a lot of relationships, and that's why I'm here because my passion and my purpose is to help purpose driven entrepreneurs and entrepreneurs get clarity on their ideal readers, customers, and build their business brand by providing business development strategies beyond the book sales. So if you are an author and you have a book, you should be thinking beyond just the book sales. And you should have big dreams for your book. I know maybe you've written a book just for notoriety purposes, but again, and that's okay. But you want to make sure that your book you maximize as much as you can with your book. Okay, so we're gonna jump right into this, and let me share to. I want to share. I thought I could be able to share. I'll share it later. Okay. All right. So let's get into today's topic, guys. Right. I'm excited. Today is September. That means that the weather is going to be cooling down soon, y'all. Yes. Okay. Right. Okay. So if you have not had a chance, go ahead and on September the 8th, which is next Thursday, I will be hosting again the How I Turned My $20 Book into a Five-Figure Business. This is a workshop for authors who have a book and they need to know how to generate consistent revenue with their book. Go ahead. This is the link on the bottom. You can register. It's free. It's for those who are wanting to take their book beyond the book sale. So join us. It's a really cool workshop. It's very interactive and it's cool. So I'll see you September the 8th. So the first thing you need to do when building your platform, right, as an author, you need to establish first thing you need to do, you need to establish a platform, right? And again, this topic this week, we're talking about, why you need to establish a platform before you sell your book. And so you need, number one, you need to establish your own platform. And so you may be saying, well, Stephanie, what do you mean by establishing my own platform? Well, that can be by way of um, maybe social media. That could be a landing page. It could even be, um, email marketing. Like it's just you establishing your platform for your author brand. And a lot of times authors don't have a platform. They don't even have a website. They're just solely depending on Amazon and um Amazon, Barnes and Noble, whatever the platform you're selling your book on. And so what if those, so my question to you, if you don't have a platform, what if those platforms go down? Like, how can your reader audience purchase your book or get in contact with you or follow you for that matter? What if social media go down? Do you have email marketing set up? These are all platforms that you need to be thinking about as you're building your author brand. So number one, in order to sell more books, you need to establish your own platform. So here are examples of platforms. It could be a website, right? If you can't afford a website, create a landing page. Create a landing page and sell your book so that you have information on this page. It's a one page where people land, they opt in to receive, information about your book, about your author brand, about what you have going on, what you have coming up. So again, these are examples of platforms. Now there are other platforms like Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, Amazon. Those are other platforms, but I'm talking about your platform that you have control over. Does that make sense? So if those other outside, and I call them third party platforms, so like if Facebook goes down or LinkedIn goes down or Instagram or TikTok, all of these other social media platforms goes down, how are you going to get in front of your audience? How are you going to connect with the people or continue to sell your books with your audience? So again, when I'm talking about platforms, I'm talking about your personal platform for your personal brand. Most people have their website or a landing page, right? So remember that those are examples of your platform, and you want to have your own platform. Okay. So number two, you need to know your reader audience. Why you need a platform to sell your book? You need to know your reader audience before you start selling. A lot of times, we just sell to everybody. Hey, buy my book. My book is available. Get it, right? Buy my book. Buy my book. So many times you're gonna find that everybody don't want to buy your book. Not everybody's interested in what you're selling. So again, I had to learn that the hard way, but I learned it, right? So again, what I'm saying is you got to know your reader audience and you have to believe in what it is that you're doing your book. Like you have to believe in this very thing. But more importantly, you got to know who you're selling to. Like, who are the people that are most likely to be interested in your product or service? Your product being the book. If you have a business, so it's the service or products that you're selling. So your book, you got to know who your book is for, right? You got to know who your book is for. And again, this is all a part of building your platform. Because if you don't have a platform and nobody knows that you exist, nobody's going to buy the book. So the goal is for you to generate more income with your book. So why not sell? I mean, get to know your reader audience. 9 times out of 10, your reader audience is the person you were about 4 or 5 years ago, or maybe you went through a problem, an issue, or something that you want to really help someone not have to go through that. Like you want to help someone get through what you went through, right? I know for me, when I published my book, I didn't have such a good experience going through a publisher. So what I did was I don't want no one to have to go through what I went through. So my goal, that's my ideal reader. That's my ideal customer, right? So again, think about it. It's it's the people who are most likely to be interested in buying your book. Like your book, you got to know the value that it brings to the reader audience. So if you have a business and you're an author, what value does your business or product or service bring? What value do you bring to those group of people? It's your community. It's your community. So let's keep it moving, y'all. Okay, so what some people may be saying, what is a reader audience, Stephanie? I don't know what a reader audience. It's these are the people, like I said, who are interested in your book, your brand, and your business. So these are the people who are most likely to be interested in purchasing what you have. They're gonna want because you've already educated them enough on what's to come, or you're the expert in this industry for this thing, this very thing, right? If your message isn't clear, then you got to get clear on your brand message. But again, your reader audience is the community of people that are most interested in purchasing your book. Does that make sense? Okay. Okay. I'll keep moving. All right. And number three, you got to identify and define your brand. So this is why you need your own platform, right? To sell your book. Because remember, Amazon, people know what, if you hear the word Amazon, you could just say the word Amazon without even seeing their logo. You can see Starbucks logo without even knowing what it is, right? So they've identified and defined their brand by their logo, by their names. When you think about Amazon, you think about Prime, you get your packages overnight to same day sometimes, right? So again, these companies, and I'm using them as examples because for number three, is because um, they've built up enough brand equity in their brand that they don't have to, their name speaks for itself. So the same thing with you as an author. People, if they don't know that you are an author, how do they know to buy your book? So let's dive into these examples of how to identify and define your brand. So here's how to identify your author brand identity, right? So number one, you need to research your ideal reader. Like again, you're going to hear me say this. Who are the people that are most likely to be interested in your book? Like research your ideal reader. You got to research them. And you want to design out. Number two, design your logo. Maybe you have an author signature logo. Maybe there's a logo. Maybe you have a business, right? And your book ties back into your business, right? Maybe you have a logo. And number three, I saved this for last. I saved this for last because I want you all to understand something, right? On number three, you gotta know the value that your book brings. What's the value that your book brings to this reader audience, right? So your platform, your website, or your landing page, you have to your readers need to know what value am I getting for coming on your platform? What's the value? Maybe you go live, right? I'm using Facebook platform to go live, right? But I'm bringing value to my readers, to the audience who need this information. I know it's early, but I'm bringing the value to them. Does that make sense? Okay. So you're going to do research. You got to research your ideal reader. Your ideal reader is that person that struggles with that one thing and you have a solution to their problem. Your book has a solution to their problem. And then to bring your author brand, get to identify your author brand, create and design a logo. Or if you can't do it, hire someone to do it. I'm just saying, it's time to get moving. Are you, ask yourself this, am I putting in enough time and effort with this author brand as I should? Or I'm just doing this for notoriety purposes. And that's fine if you are for notoriety purposes, but remember, what is the goal for your book? Like, what's the goal? The goal is for you say notoriety, but you do want to sell your book, right? So before you sell your book, you need a platform. You should have a platform, right? But most importantly, out of all of these, number one, research your ideal reader. You got to know who that is. Good morning, Paula. Good morning. Good morning. It's early where you are, girl. Thank you for tuning in. So, again, here's how to identify your author brand, like how to identify your author brand and identity, right? You got to research your ideal reader. You got to know the value of your book. Do you believe in your book? Do you believe in your brand? Well, if you believe in it, you got to know the value. What's the value proposition? Some people It's what you bring to this community of people. Oh, thank you, Paula. You're listening. Getting ready. All right, all right. So again, you got to know the value that your book brings to your community of people. It's a must. You got to know the value that it brings. Some people know the value that they bring. Some people don't. Right? That's the same thing. Even if you have a business, if your book is attached to your business, what value do both of these things bring to your ideal customers? What value do you bring? What are they getting for um for purchasing this book? Like what is this book going to do for them? Right? So again, this is why you need an author, you need a platform. Authors need a platform before they sell their books. You got to have a platform of where you're going to sell your book. And this is why, because you need to first establish, you got to establish the platform first. You got to establish that, right? And I could have said how for this topic, but I want you to know this is why authors need a platform, because if in fact other platforms go down, you have your landing page, you have your website or your website that you have your email marketing campaign, you have these things that you can continuously interact with your audience of people. If you're conducting book signings and you're getting people to sign up at the book at the table when you autograph your book, how are you reaching back out to those people? Are you staying in contact with those people? Like that's enough, that you're building your platform, right? So we got to be intentional about that, because one thing I do know is if nobody knows that you exist or have this book, nobody knows to buy what you're selling. And even if Amazon goes down, if all of the social media platforms goes down, how are you going to get in contact with the people that are most interested in what you have? Okay? So, here's the next step. The next step is for you, number 1, create the website or landing page. To build your to get your create that platform, to establish that platform, you need to create the website or landing page, right? Create it. Create it right now. Create it now. Create that website right now or landing page. If you can't afford the website, do a landing page. It's okay. I promise you, it's okay. Number 2, you want to write out your author brand goals. What's the goals for this author brand? Like, what are you planning on doing with this book, with the brand? Are you looking to go and teach, maybe coach, maybe consult with your book? What's the goals? Like, write them out. You got to write them out so you can see them. I know a lot of us are good. Oh, it's in my head. Write it on paper. Put it down on paper. Okay. Get it out. Put it down on paper. It doesn't have to be complicated. Just put it down on paper. Okay. Okay. So here are the 3 author business tip takeaways for this week. Right. So we talked about it. Number 1, you're going to establish your platform, create the website or landing page. Go ahead and do that. Or put a goal in place and be specific about the date that you're going to do this very thing, right? Number 2, you need to know your reader audience. I know a lot of us say it's everybody, all walks of people. I can serve all people. No, but you can't really serve all people. There's no way that one individual can serve all people. That's a billion and something people. So you really need to, what is it, 7.7 billion, something like that. But you really need to narrow down your reader audience, right? Narrow it down. Narrow it down. Write out your goals. You got to write out the goals for your brand. And I think I have this um switch, guys, but that's okay. So you got to know who these people are. You got to know where they are, where they're the most active. Focus on one platform at a time. That way you don't stress yourself out. Know where they're active, right? Then you want to identify and define your brand. Remember, to identify and define your brand, you need to write it out. Like, what does that look like? Right? Um, when we talk about identify your brand, you got to research your reader audience so you'll know who that is, right? And then you got to know your book, know the value that your book brings to these people. So you got to know that. So if your book is for people who are, uh, so if your book is for people who are overcoming, let's say, overcoming depression, or maybe your book is for equity, diversity, and inclusion, right? It's for diversity and it's solving a problem centered around diversity. Then you want to make sure that it is clear, like you're identifying that this is what your brand is about, your author brand is about, this book is about, and go, like, you go hard with it, like you research it. You got this. You got it. You can do it, right? So again, these are the 3 author business tip takeaway. Establish your platform, right? That's the website or the landing page. Know your reader audience. You got to know who they are. You got to know where they're most active. Number 3, identify and define your brand, right? Remember, when you're researching, identifying and defining your brand, you want to make sure that you know the value that your book is going to bring, right? You're doing all of this so that you, when you establish your platform, then now you're ready to sell your book. And it doesn't have to be long and drawn out. Does that make sense? All right. So thank you all so much for tuning in this morning. And don't forget, next Thursday, September the 8th, How I Turned My $20 Book into a 5-Figure Business workshop will be taking place. The link is at the bottom. And yeah, grab your seat. It is going to be amazing, amazing, amazing. We had so much fun in this class. Thank you, Paula. Shout out to Paula Carl for tuning in to the workshop as well. It was amazing. And lives are changed. Here's what you will learn during this workshop. You'll learn how to build a 6-figure author brand before selling your book, what tools you will need to create a successful book marketing strategy, and how to pitch your book to bookstores or organizations and corporations. So some authors, some of my author friends out here, they want to be a speaker, coach, consultant, or even a teacher, even a preacher, right? So maybe you want to take your book to another level outside, okay, beyond the book sale. So join us for this workshop. It's going to be amazing, amazing, amazing. It's next, that's the wrong date, y'all. So it's next Thursday, September the 8th at 6 p.m. September 8th at 6 p.m. Thank you so much for tuning in today. As always, be good to yourself. Happy September. Happy Labor Day weekend. Enjoy yourself. And please be safe. Please be safe. Thank you, Paula Carl, for tuning in this morning. Have a wonderful day, y'all. Bye.